It is 4 p.m. here on the East Coast, 1 p.m. on the West Coast. Today is January 10th, 2017. Welcome to Sports Fusion News. I am your host, Alex Hughes. I have a very special guest on my show tonight, very good friend of the show, Pete Iorizzo. He's a writer at the Times Union here in upstate New York. So, Pete, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Alex. Thanks a lot for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. So last night, Clemson wins the college football playoff national championship in a last-second stunner. Us football fans, they love college football. I love college football, even though my Ohio State Buckeyes did not get into that championship game last night. But overall, the game was very exciting, and, you got to love college football, right?
Yeah, I thought it was about as good a college football game as you could possibly have. I mean, geez, how many future NFL players do you think were on the field last night? It seemed like the talent level was awfully high. If I had one complaint, it would be I wish they started the game a little earlier so maybe more people could enjoy it. I think it was after midnight by the time it finally ended.
Yeah, it was a rough morning for us high school students, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, those of us who had to go to work this morning, it wasn't easy either.
Yeah. So, Pete, also, we got NFL playoffs, and unfortunately, the Giants, they let down their Giant fans this past weekend by not getting out of the wild card spot. So, Pete, do you think this Giants team can get back into the playoffs next season, or do you think this Giants team was kind of like I said on my last show, a fluke way to get into the playoffs? But what about you?
Yeah, no, I think the Giants can build off what they did this year. The defense I would expect to be very good again. You hope that if another year goes by that Odell Beckham continues to mature and grow up a little bit. If you're a Giants fan, I don't think you like to see him putting himself in harm's way by putting his fist through a wall after the game. I don't think that's helpful to anybody. He's had these kinds of things that you'd hope would be wake-up calls in the past, but maybe this finally will be. Certainly there's a lot of talent there. So I think there's reason to be optimistic if you're a Giants fan. I actually thought I was surprised the Giants lost there. I really thought they'd go to Green Bay and play well. I think the future's bright for the Giants.
Okay. Now, Pete, I have to ask you, if you're a Bills fan, how much optimistic can you be for about next season after getting rid of your head coach, Rex Ryan? So now, what's the next?
Let me stop you right there for a second, Alex. If you're a Bills fan, you are never ever optimistic. It's just not. You just don't have the ability to do that. I don't think.
Okay, but if you're a Bills fan, what can you expect for next season? And then what's next for Rex Ryan? That's another question there for you too.
Yeah, I'll take Rex first. I like a lot of people. I think he'll probably end up on TV or in the media in some sense. Obviously, he's got the personality for it. He seems to enjoy being in the spotlight that way. You can obviously talk about football very articulately. I think that would be perfect for him. I don't think he will get another head coaching opportunity anytime soon. If you're a Bills fan, there are certainly a lot of questions to be answered. First and foremost, who's going to be the head coach next year? I'm not as down on Tyrod Taylor as some people are. I think maybe potentially they have a quarterback there that they can work with, and if you have a quarterback, that's the most fundamental piece of the puzzle in the NFL. So that certainly gives you something to build on. But I think it's hard for when you have a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 17 years to say that there's reason to be optimistic. Might be a little bit of a stretch. Maybe there's less reason to be pessimistic. Maybe that's the best way to say it.
Okay. Now, Raiders fans, they have a lot to be optimistic about, but they weren't that optimistic because they thought, that before their star quarterback got hurt, Derek Carr, they were excited, to see what was next for the Raiders this season, excited that they're back in the playoffs. And then, of course, Derek Carr went down with the season-ending injury. So now, Pete, what's next for the Oakland Raiders? Are they back in the playoffs next year, do you think?
Yeah, I think the Oakland Raiders are definitely a team trending upward. You have to feel bad for Raiders fans. Your team's in the playoffs for playing its first playoff game in 14 years, and you have to start your third-string quarterback. And I think they otherwise would have had an opportunity to go and beat the Texans. So that's a tough pill to have to swallow, I think, if you're a Raiders fan. But if I were a Raiders fan, I think as the the offseason goes along, you'll be consoled by the fact that your team is definitely trending in the right direction.
Now, with the NFL playoffs, the real NFL playoffs, not the wild card, start next weekend. What are your thoughts on the playoffs? I know no New York teams are in it, but there's a New England team. The New England Patriots are back in the playoffs. It seems like they're always in the playoffs. So with Rob Gronkowski getting hurt earlier this season, do you think that will hurt the New England Patriots this playoff season?
Yeah, boy, it's just hard to it's hard to doubt the Patriots until they give you a reason to. It just it seems like whatever adversity is thrown at them, they seem to find a way, and they're playing well right now. I like the Patriots because I haven't seen any team prove yet why we should doubt the Patriots. If you put a gun to my head right now and said to pick a team, I'm definitely putting my chips in with New England.
Okay, we'll switch gears to the MLB. I know the New York Yankees have made a few moves, trading away Brian McCann, getting Matt Holliday, and also another few, they signed Chapman to a 5-year deal. Now, Pete, with this Yankee team, a lot of news headlines have been saying the Yankees are in the mix to get Jose Quintana. Then Brian Cashman stated last night that they're 99.9% done this offseason. So with this Yankee team, if the Yankees are done and aren't going to try to get a starter pitcher, do you see this Yankee team being more than a wild card team, if that?
Yeah, I think if that is probably the best way to put it. Yeah, they're going to be in the mix, I think, for the wild card with everything they've done on your last night. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen them maybe add one more starting pitcher to the mix too. I think this is going to take a little time with the Yankees. This is the first time in a long time that they've had to they have to go back and sort of rediscover a core here. So this I know we don't never say this with the Yankees, but they may be in the midst of what's sort of a multi-year process here.
Okay.
But I do think based on what they've done, they can take a step forward next year. And I'd be surprised if as we're into September they weren't at least in the mix for a wild card.
Okay. Now, do you think the Mets signing Yoenis Cespedes, and that was really the only move the Mets wanted to do this offseason? So do you think if every starter pitcher can stay healthy, or, not every starter pitcher, but the team needs to stay healthy, which they did not do last year, which is why the Mets probably did not get further than the wild card game last season. So do you think this Mets team is better or worse than coming into this season as they were last?
I think they'll be better if their starting pitching can stay healthy. I mean, they certainly, it'd be hard to have any worse injury luck when it came to pitching than they did last year. The question, of course, is are these guys all going to come back healthy? But even if 2 or 3 of them are able to bounce back, that would put them in a much better position than they were last year. And like I said, re-signing Cespedes was really the only move that they made, but I sort of felt like that was really the only move that they had to make. I just think he had the record bore out last year when they had him in the lineup versus when he was out of the lineup. I just think he's what sort of makes the offense click with the Mets. As someone who grew up a Mets fan, I was glad to see them able to resign him, and I think now with their pitching back this year, there's no reason the Mets shouldn't have their sights on contending for an NL East title.
Okay, Pete, before I wrap up this Sports Fusion News episode, I just got to ask you, final Super Bowl predictions. So are you sticking with your New England Patriots right now?
Yes, I'm sticking with the Patriots.
Okay, Pete, I want to say thank you for coming on my show tonight. And where can fans follow you on Twitter and read your articles at the Times Union?
On Twitter, I'm at Pete Iorizzo, and you can find all my stories on timesunion.com/Pete Iorizzo.
Okay, great. Thank you, Pete, for coming on the Sports Fusion News episode today, and hope to have you on again soon.
Thanks a lot, Alex. I really appreciate you having me.
No problem. Okay, Fuse Nation, thank you for tuning in to this Sports Fusion News episode. I'll be back later this week with some great shows ahead. Thank you for watching this Sports Fusion News episode. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at AlexFuse. You can go back and watch all my other episodes. Thank you for watching. I will see you later this week. Be kind of one another.